Hey everyone, it's Michael here at homehealthsuccessacademy.com and 10xpatientreferrals.com. Our goal is to be able to help you guys start your own home care business. Now, let's talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of actually having your home care company based in your house. So let's talk about that, right? So a lot of people ask me that question. Hey, can I actually run my business at home? Can I have a home-based office to be able to run a home care company? And the answer to that is yes. In most states, in average, it allows you to be able to actually create your home care business in your house. So we want to be able to talk about the advantages and the disadvantages. Now, just to give you guys some basics here, that's for a non-medical private duty home care company, but not for a home health or a hospice agency, okay? So advantages, number one is less expensive than a community situated business as overhead costs are lower, right? Because you don't actually have to have what? You don't have to rent a physical location. So instead of actually paying money, if you get, let's say, for example, a 500 square foot office space that you're going to be paying $800 to $1,000 a month, well, that money you don't have to actually spend. So that's actually good for you when you're starting your business from scratch and you don't have that much money yet. The next thing is there's a lower risk of expensive mistakes. What do you mean by expensive mistakes? Well, if you actually get a certain location, and let's say this happened to me before where I wanted to expand, but unfortunately by the time that we wanted to expand our area or the amount of space that we wanted, all the spots were taken, right? And so it did not allow us to be able to expand our office space. So we eventually had to move on to another office space in a different area, in a different building. So the cost for that, the time that we spent, that was, time is more, is worth more than money nowadays. So the time I had to spend to move everything, to start everything up again was a lot for us, right? So that can be an expensive mistake later on, okay? So it lowers that risk. Also, there is always that part where a business does not, kick through. And what happens is if you're stuck with, let's say, a 5-year lease, and let's say your business unfortunately closes in 3 years, then you're stuck with another 2-year worth of lease that you actually have to pay off and you owe. So, that is another expensive mistake that can actually happen. The third thing is there's an opportunity to use household resources for business use. Yeah, that's the truth. There is a lot of things, right? You probably have pens, papers, your printer, your computer at home already, right? So you don't actually have to have another computer in the office. You don't have to buy another printer. So you can use household resources already set. I know a lot of people that, they use their garage for their business space. So they may have some tables in their garage used for basic work. They use that as their workspace for now. The next thing is there is a gradual startup and growth, meaning that, you're not, when you start up the business, when you don't have income coming in, when the cash flow is not there yet, you're not having to worry of paying, your lease, your monthly lease, garbage disposal, electricity, water, gas, all those additional things you don't really have to worry about. Why? Because you already are paying that as a standard thing for your own house that you're living in. The next thing is the owner can set his or her own hours. Now, I'll tell you guys one thing is that if you are going to start a business in your office, you want to be able to set a real hours. If it's a 9 to 5, work 9 to 5. Don't just all of a sudden think that you can start a business and then not put in the hours or the work. Another one thing is commuting time is reduced. Guess what? If you work for a company, right? Like for example, I used to live in Arizona, and it would take me travel time to travel about 45 minutes to go to work, right? So that means that's 45 minutes going there, 45 minutes going back. So it's an hour and a half of my day is lost just through travel time. So if you have a home-based office, well, guess what? That is saving some gas and saving some, time from not having to wake up too early just to go to work. All right. So commuting is something that you save a lot. Next thing is work can be conducted around family needs, right? So, let's say, for example, if you're working at a regular job, you're working 9 to 5, family's not around, right? So then what happens is you really have to set your schedule around because there are things that needs to be done in the family. But guess what? When you're in the office at home and something comes up that you can decide to leave right away or handle certain businesses that you need without having the risk or having the problems from your boss or anything like that. More advantage would be like there are no assigned standards of dress codes. Now, that does not mean that you're going to go to work every day wearing your underwear, right? You're not going to go to work, or start working with the same clothes that you wore when you woke up, okay? So you still want some form of standards of dress code, but, some facilities require to wear a suit. They want you to wear this. And so all that stuff that goes on is that you have additional expenditures that you have. Next thing is it provides a relatively inexpensive way to test the market, right? Means that, you're not too sure about the business, but you want to dip your toes in. It just allows you to be able to just start the company and see, hey, is it going to work out for me? But if you're going to tell me you're going to start a business, you're going to see how it works for 1 year and then that's it, then I will tell you guys then you should not start your own business, because typically it takes 3 to 5 years before you actually are able to see a turnaround in most businesses. Fortunately enough for the non-medical home care company, if you actually have a good marketing plan, that you will actually be able to get your money back within a few months if you are gung-ho about marketing your company. Next thing is, the business can start off on a part-time basis. It's the same thing as the working hours or testing the markets, right? Another one is individuals who use their homes for business. You can claim a tax related expense, right? So you can actually have a write-off. And so this is something that you have to talk to your accountant and what they can advise you with. So because you're using your home as a home-based business, you can actually have a tax write-off for a certain percentage on what you're paying for your monthly lease or your monthly loan that you have for your house, your apartment, your condo, or whatever it is. Okay, so those are just some of the basic advantages you have. Now, disadvantages is the business will be less visible than it would be in a commercial space. And that's the truth, right? Because it's in your home. And some communities, they don't allow you to be able to put advertising outside. And you don't really want to do that when you have a home, right? So, that's one thing, is that there is no foot traffic, as they may say, or drive-by traffic. But here's the thing, guys. The truth is that when it comes to a home care business, the only people that really comes to your office is your employees and yourself, right? So it's very rare that you have a family member who's looking for home care services for their loved one, see your office and drive in and say, I want services for mom. Most of the time, most referrals are going to happen by phone and by email or by online, right? Another disadvantage is there's going to be a lot of discipline needed for you to be able to, to put into this business, because it's a lot of work, right? If you think that it's only going to be 40 hours worth of work, no, you're going to be putting more time. So you might actually be working till nighttime because now you're not having to drive. Another disadvantage is that there's an isolation and loss of contact with colleagues, because sometimes it's having to go to work. It's actually a release for a lot of people. It allows them to be able to have a conversation with people that they would not normally have. And this has happened to me a lot of times, right? When I get into the business mode of things, and that I'm not able to see my friends and family. But guess what? If you're not even leaving the house, the chances of you running across your family, your friends, is a lot lesser. Okay. Another disadvantage is family can infringe on work time. If you have kids in the house, and the kids stay home at work, and you're saying like, well, I want to have a home-based business because at least my kids, I don't need to pay for a babysitter, for example. I can watch them. But you have to understand is that, kids are a distraction. It's a full-time work. Providing care for kids is really full-time. And so what happens is when they're around, you're not able to actually concentrate fully. So if you are going to be doing some home-based businesses, you have to set up the hours of operation. Let's say if it's 9 to 5, you can tell the kids, hey, listen, don't bug me. Okay, if it's an emergency, let me know. But you want to be able to put your full concentration in your business, because if you can't do that, that's going to cause problems later on. You're going to miss things. You're not going to be able to do things correctly. Now, there's also going to be increase in family stress as the demands for work and family are juggled, because if you're just a typical person working 40-hour work week, and then all of a sudden you start a business and now you're putting in 50 hours, 60 hours a week because you're trying to get this business started, there can be some stress happening in the family. And so one thing that we truly suggest is that you have to have a decision. You cannot make the only decision to start a company. It has to be a family decision. And you sit down and you can say, these are the things that we might actually be missing for the first few years. So having that communication, just as you communicate with your employees or your future employees, you need to communicate with your family and the expectations as well, right? The next thing is a personal motivation level can drop. When we first start something, there's that increase of adrenaline that, oh my God, this is gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a business. We're gonna get it started with, right? But then what happens is we start, having our motivation starts changing, and our motivation level drops down. And then once we start getting punched in the face, as they may say, when we start hitting some certain challenges, your motivation might go down. So you want to be able to stay motivated. You must be able to know what your why is. What's the reason why you're doing this business? And another thing is, a lot of people don't ask this question, is like, why are you doing this business? But you also need to ask yourself, what do I want to be able to do with the money I make with this business, and whom can I actually help? Right? So you want to be able to ask these type of questions when you're running your business or you're deciding to start a company. Then you can also, like we said, dress code. An advantage is that the dress code is not important. So you can be sloppy a little bit with dressing. You might stop, for guys, stop shaving a little bit, stop taking care of yourself. So when you are at work, just, if you are having a home-based business, just because you're at home, dress to impress still, right? Be ready, be dressed. at home when you're doing your business. Another disadvantage is sometimes the professional image is compromised. Another one is existing bylaws and zoning restrictions and leases can affect development issues. There are communities or HOAs or homeowners associations that prohibit having a home-based business in your area. And that's just what they want to be able to have. So make sure before you make any decisions in starting a business and using your home address, make sure you find out what are the restrictions, what are the zoning restrictions, what are the laws, what are the lease issues and everything, okay? Another disadvantage is there could be conflict with neighbors over noise, traffic, and parking problems, right? Where do you live? How many parking spaces do you have, right? How many, are you gonna, if you're gonna have a home-based business, like I know a couple people that has their home care company based in their basement, right? So they have several people working, but unfortunately they don't have the whole driveway enough to be able to have people park there. They themselves had, for example, 2 cars already parked there. So where do everybody park? So a couple of their employees would park in the streets, and that became a problem, and neighbors started complaining. Okay. Now, the last disadvantage it can be is that there may be even limitations and or even regulations to operating a home-based business, meaning that so some states you had to be able to find out is do they actually allow you to have a home care business at your home. Some states do not allow this, but most of the states, they allow you to have your business at home. So these are the basic disadvantages and advantages that you can face when you're starting a home care company. If I missed anything, please make a comment down below. Please let us know. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell because you're going to get notified when we have new videos coming up. Our goal here at Home Health Success Academy is to actually provide you guys with amazing information to be able to help you guys start your own home care company. Always understand that marketing is 100% of your business, so make sure you market once you open up your business. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.
Hey everyone, we want to be able to invite you to our 10xpatientreferrals.com where we have our online home health marketing academy that's going to be able to help either a home health, home care, or hospice agency increase referrals, increase their census, and create a profitable company. Now, at this very moment, you're going to have access to these information through these training, marketing to physicians, how to get to hospitals, how to be able to get into nursing homes, and much, much more at a month-to-month basis with no contracts needed. It's just month to month. Now, guess what? We are offering you guys for a limited time 50% off any one of our plans. Just choose which one is going to be able to work better for you. So just stop by the 10xpatientreferrals.com at any given moment. So these are the plans that are available, whether it's the gold, the silver, or the platinum plan. Most people go for the gold plan, but it's up to you what's going to work for you. We definitely want to be able to have you come in and work with us. So here's 2 choices. Go to 10xpatientreferrals.com or click the link down below. Take advantage of this right now at this very moment and sign up with us. Now, before we continue on to the video, just need to be able to take a few seconds of your time. And so we want to be able to ask you a question. Are you looking to gain more referrals for your agency, your home health, your home care, your hospice agency? We want you to be able to join us at our online marketing bootcamp that has over 7.5 hours of training. When you actually watch our bootcamp and join our online marketing bootcamp training, so sign up for a limited time at 10xpatientreferrals.com. We would like to thank our sponsors of this video, and over here at 10xpatientreferrals.com, our goal is to provide you guys amazing information on every single one of our videos. So medicationreminderprogram.com provides daily medication reminders for your patients. They call your patients twice a day to remind them to take their medications. What happens is a top reason of hospitalization for senior citizens is not taking their medications. So this program allows you to be able to keep your patients and not lose any revenue, but at the very same time it allows you to stand out when you are marketing to other referral sources because you're providing more services, more programs than the competition around you guys. The next thing we want to be able to share with you guys is they have 3 different packages available for you at this very moment. Choose which one works for you. If you're an agency that's just starting up and you have less than 10 patients, you can go with the silver plan. Or if you have 50 patients, you can go with the gold plan. Or if you have up to 100 patients, it is only the choice to use the platinum plan. But guess what? It's up to you which one works for you guys. For a cost of as little as 33 cents per patient a day, it is worth everything for you guys. The next thing is homecareansweringservice.com. It's an answering services for your agency. So if you want to be able to have us handle all the calls for you in the weekends or the off hours when your business office is closed, we can definitely do that. Or we can even answer your calls for you during the day as well. Allows you to be able to do everything for your company. So homecareansweringservice.com is your solution for answering your calls on a timely manner.